In winter, temperatures in Copenhagen seldom rise above freezing. Trying to live only from local produce doesn't sound very practical, but that's just what they do at the Radio Restaurant. Devotees of the new Nordic cuisine use exclusively regional ingredients. For example,
so this is one of my favorite vegetables, celeriac, that we can bake or fry or even serve raw. Shoots of ramson, or wild garlic as it is called. And then you've got black cabbage. It's a kind of creating dishes, food that reflects nature where you are. The Spanish cuisine that was dominating in the early 2000s was extremely technical and getting further and further away from everything natural. So we said now it's time to come back to nature.
Chefs from around the world are drawing inspiration from the new Nordic cuisine. Lifestyle magazines in Britain and the United States are singing the praises of what they call the Viking diet. It's a trend, but will it last? It actually began about 10 years ago in a restaurant called Noma, which was started by Klaus Meyer and René Redzepi. These days, Noma boasts 3 Michelin stars and placed 4 times as top pick on Britain's Restaurant magazine's list of the world's best restaurants.
The way they did that just completely changed everything we knew about restaurants. They were serving plates that looked like forest floors and beaches in the north of Denmark and so on. And it was made of the produce that they could find in our close surroundings.
New Nordic cuisine has turned into a gold mine for Klaus Meyer. Nowadays, he runs 6 restaurants and 75 cafeterias around Copenhagen. His delis specialize in regional produce from their own farms. His name is now a trademark.
I mean, we never meant for this phenomenon, the new Nordic cuisine, to be reserved for a culinary elite. What we dreamt of was that this should come into the hands and lives of as many people as possible.
28-year-old food blogger Mia Irene Christensen has also taken up the cause. She tries to put the ideas into practice in her daily meals and organizes cooking courses in her home. It's a new twist on a centuries-old tradition of following the seasons.
The beetroot has really, gotten modern again, and also some of the other old school, root vegetables like parsnip and what's the other one? Parsley root and all the cabbages. When the Danes are eating so much cabbage now, it's all about knowing how to prepare it and maybe not use the traditional method like beetroots we used to, make soup of, or we used to pickle it. But when you use it raw, it's just a completely different experience.
The trend has picked up support from a recent Danish study indicating the new Nordic cuisine is healthy and promotes weight loss. Cabbage and tubers are complemented by legumes, berries, whole grain foods, and fish, and by meat only sparingly and never from factory farming. Traditional stewing and preserving are undergoing a revival.
This is the finished pork cheeks. You braise it for about 45 to 1.5 hours, depending on how you do it. So in a few hours you have a lovely pot dish, and it's a cut that we kind of forgotten about. They went from being something you could almost get free at the butchers because nobody wanted it, until now you need to pay a lot of money for them.
The return to traditional, natural ingredients is nothing new. Industrially processed foods are also frowned on by the raw food diet, clean eating, slow food, and others. But none are as extreme as the Paleolithic diet, whose disciples tried to eat like their Stone Age ancestors. There are even Paleolithic-style restaurants.
We cannot get this simplicity in our daily work life or in our relationships, in the society that surrounds us. That is incredibly demanding, then we could probably seek that simplicity in our own kitchen.
Many trends have turned out to be flashes in the pan, but not the new Nordic cuisine. Its popularity has only grown, even as standard family fare. But the Vikings themselves might have found it all a bit hard to swallow.